Good afternoon, YouTube. Well, here we are in the car, as you can see. I have gotten done with the heater box swap. I don't know where it would be. It must be in these pads that are stuck on along the side of the firewall, because that's getting pretty hot from the exhaust, and you can just smell warmed up rat piss. Before that, you couldn't hardly smell anything, so I mean, we were getting pretty close up until that, and I don't know. I guess we'll put the console on, and I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm just about done trying to get rid of the stank. It ain't near as bad as it was. We'll put it that way. So, I did a bunch of calling around to find a heater box. Luckily, French Lake had a car. So, I went and pulled the heater box myself. Luckily, someone pulled the console already, so all I had to do was pull the pad off, pull the frame out, and pull the box out. And I really wasn't looking forward to pulling the dash again. But that gave me a good refresher, because it's been quite a few weeks since I pulled the pad and the dash off out of this car. So it gave me a good refresh on where wires went, bolts went, this, that, the other. And I even got this bezel with the heater control from there, because it's wood trim, whereas the other one I have is just black. So it's a little more premium, and this is the one that came with this bezel. I mean, I got to fix the little foam sealant ring that popped up onto the screen on mine, but or on the other one, I should say. And I fixed the D4 light that was burnt out. And I swapped it with number 2, so no lady on number 2, but whatever. Automatic climate works, which is nice. Crank it down, it kicks up. I say, oh, 72. It's pretty warm out. You can hear it moving a little bit, so that's good. But must be the radiator fan going. I'm like, what the hell is that buzzing? I mean, for some reason it's like the battery's too weak to frickin' lift the frickin' locks. I didn't even lock it. Let's see. It sounds like a radiator fan's on. Just making sure it's good that works. Well, my transmission wire fix did help. We will say that. Was it the end-all be-all? No, it was not. Unfortunately. At the moment, I have a P0730 incorrect gear ratio. I don't think it said which gear, but I don't think that really matters. It slips big time in between. And to be honest, when I fixed the wire on the transmission, I was planning on pulling the lockup solenoid out and cleaning the little screens off. I never did get to it because it was such a pain in the ass to get to the bolts underneath the wiring harness, to even get the wiring harness out of the way. Looked like it was going to be a complete pain in the ass. Didn't want to mess with it, so I didn't do it. And I figured I'd see what all it was going to do having the transmission wire fixed. Got rid of the code for the lockup solenoid, and it doesn't bang into drive now, but it also doesn't shift worth a damn. And I mean, worth a dang. Fires up good now, though. Thanks to that new whatchamacalls that I got it, so. Windows work. Das ist gut. Car does not want to reverse on its own power. You have to give it just a smidge of gas to get it going. It runs out of momentum, then stops. You gotta rev it up about almost 1500 to get it to do anything, but there it's in drive, and it's got torque because it'll spin the tires. there's a slip and into second there. Oops, or something, and then it banged into another gear. I don't know what it's doing. Makes you a little nervous. You don't want to go far, otherwise you end up, you know. So, let's do a quick. Whoa, there's a family one. But, reverse works though. This is good. I'm trying to back up without. There's people coming, and I ain't gonna go riding around in a car that ain't up to date tabs and doesn't have insurance at the moment. So that's how I feel about it. But you can see the transmission does not want to cooperate, and I'm surprised it shifted into second that fast because it did not do that originally, and I bet it won't do it again. But or maybe just because the camera's rolling, because it would not. Sometimes it would pop out of gear, like out of first gear, and then it would go nowhere, and you're like, shit, now I did it, now I'm screwed. But then you'd pop it in neutral and then back in drive, and you'd be just about back in first gear. So but boom, the first, pull right up. So sweet. I mean, it's got some torque, just about bust them loose. So but yeah, oh, does it stink like a rat in here now. So that's the fun stuff. So I guess at this point I'm gonna be forced to pull the lockup solenoid. I know the transmission's probably not okay. I understand that possibility, but I'm gonna clean the solenoid and see what happens regardless. I'm gonna see if that smooths out the shifts, if it shifts faster, and heck, you never know. Yes, you shouldn't have plugged up screens and lots of debris in the transmission because that's a lot of wear, a lot of problems. But what's the possibility that I, fix the frickin' thing by at least make it more drivable? I could drive it to town and back and type of thing. That's my hope for now, I guess. I need a new airbag module, but of course, I pulled the heater box out of a coupe, and the coupe airbag module. What's wrong with this? Sometimes it does not want to let go of the key. There we go. It's probably because it's not bolted down or tightened down. But anyway, the coupe airbag module is not the same as the sedan, so I couldn't grab that. And someone beat me to the shifter. That needs to go. That reeks like piss, something fierce. But I'm telling you, I think it's just the seam there, because I mean they were using the whole console as a porta potty. I mean, it's just nasty, and along with the heater box. So I'm pretty sure that the pee ran down on both sides and got into those pads, and when I was cleaning, it got down under the bottom pad gap there, and blah, blah. Me okay. Me okay. So I'm really hoping I don't have to do a transmission on this right away. If I could just patch it, be good for now. That'd be great, but that's never usually the case. But I am just surprised that hardly anybody watches my videos on the car. I've got 140 some subscribers, and I get like 3 views over a month, and I'm like, what the hell? I guess people really don't care about a Honda Accord, but just figured I'd bring you guys along for the journey. It's something new, something different in my life, I guess, if anybody would care about that. But you post an LBZ cold start and a couple hundred views in a week. So heck yeah. But no, everything's back in, everything's bolted up, dash wise, so everything's solid as a rock, and I'm glad everything is plugged in. The only thing that's not working is this, and I think I just don't have that plugged in. So yes, I know the key's off, but even when the key was on, it's not doing anything. So thinking I gotta plug that in, but other than that, we should be good to go. Everything's plugged in. I mean, there's just a billion connectors in this car. I don't understand that whatsoever. It's such a basic car. Oh, if you ever do pull your dash out, quick note is the plug for the double solenoid that the car uses to start sometimes fails. I'm not going to get underneath the dash to show you. It uses a brown plug. Well, there's another brown plug that plugs into the back of the fuse box, and they are identical. They plug in and I'd swapped them and the car wasn't starting. I'm like, what the heck? But now it's starting, so, and it starts up good, so I'm glad. HVAC is working and it doesn't reek like pee. There ain't shooting turds out at me anymore. I do need cabin filters, but yeah. I mean, I only paid $200 for the car. You got to keep that in mind before you start commenting too much, or complaining too much. I paid $200 for the car. Cruise works. I tested that, so that's nice. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. This is definitely different. So it's a lot of flipping work, I tell you. But I'm really hoping it's going to be worth it in the end. So have a quick little beater whip around car, and it's got some get up. First gear really screams. I didn't punch it or nothing, but on gravel, it just barely any throttle breaks the tires loose. That's freaking decent. And I wonder if somebody's made tuning for this car because I do not like the shift points if it's in second or third gear and you floor it. And I don't know, it could just be because my transmission's a little wonky at the moment, but second or third gear and you floor it, well, you just nice and easy, it just kind of, it doesn't downshift. It just stays in that gear, lugs along up until it gets up to speed. It could just, like I said, be very well my transmission, but it'd be nice if someone made some trans tunes for this thing to really make it a little bit more enjoyable to drive, a little bit easier kick down, and a little bit more power out of the 3-liter, and yeah, so. But this heater box, I called the dealership. They said 99 to 0 or 98 to 02 for, and has to come out of a V6, and I guess that for some reason the trim level matters. He says if it comes out of an EX, if yours is an EX, it needs to come out of an EX. I'm like, okay. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what this car is because it doesn't say. It just says Accord V6, and I'm assuming a V6 is a higher trim level than EX. So EX V6 is what I got. Works great. Happy as a clam. So just reeks like freaking mouse in here. And what really sucks is I know that there's no padding or cover up, no carpeting cover up for the console. So I know it's if that's what's stinking, that's just going to come right up through the console, unfortunately. But I have my ozone machine I've used in here once now in the last week, so I'm hoping if I keep running that, it'll just keep not stinking. It's kind of a crazy tactic, but I'm really hoping it works. So anyway, I suppose, now I can pretty much get the interior put back together and have a fully functional car minus the airbag module. So freaking rights. Sound system works great. So it even bumps pretty doggone hard for what it is. So I don't know if there's any aftermarket speakers in here. I haven't even taken a door panel off yet. So whatever. I'm just happy it freaking works. Everything. Horn works. And yeah. Alrighty. I hope you guys keep following along and enjoy the journey. But thanks for watching. God bless.